Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got some picks for today's NBA slate on February 24th. Monday, we have 8 games, and the board's actually been kind of tricky to start, but it's still developing. But I do feel really good about all these picks we've got. If you guys have not signed up for Parlay Play, Better, or Underdog yet, use code BACKDOOR. They're going to hook you up with awesome sign-up bonuses. All that information is down below. On top of the sign-up bonuses for Parlay Play that they're going to give you, we're also going to give you a month in our premium Discord. So if you sign up through Parlay Play and you use code BACKDOOR, make sure you email us at bdfantasysports@gmail.com, and we will get you in our Discord for a month for free. So let's talk about the plays that we've got for today. I'm going to be going with Guerschon Yabusele, however you say it. I like his PRA. It looks like Embiid's going to be out of this game, so that's what the news is I'm reading. It looks like Embiid might be out for an extended period of time. Shocker. But 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists, going to be taking that for more against Chicago. And then I like Yusuf Nurkic. Really just wanted his assists or his rebounds and assists. That wasn't available. So rather than taking the full PRA, I like the fantasy score better for the defensive upside. So I'm going to go over 23.5 fantasy score for Nurk. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going to be taking Jamal Murray for over 5.5 assists. And I'm taking Mike Conley for over 4.5 assists. So just keeping it simple with the assist game, but that's what I'm taking today.
All right, well, let's start breaking into it. If you guys don't mind, do us a favor, help us out with the algorithm, like the video, drop us a comment, whatever you prefer. And if you have questions, just hit us up in the comments. We'll try to get back to you about plays you're looking into. If you haven't yet, come subscribe to our solo channels. Mine is just at JRussoBDFS, and Jordy's is at JordyBDFS. And I don't know if you're planning on it, but I'm definitely planning on putting out some plays on my channel as well today, a little bit later on. With our schedules and everything, it's just been awesome to have our own channels now too. Still do the main show, try to keep the main show the priority. It's why we're starting with it today. We can put out some extra plays on our channels now too. So definitely come and follow us over there. All right. So starting with Guerschon here. I know he hasn't done it much, just 4 out of his last 10 games. But the main thing that I'm looking at here is Embiid being out. He's listed as he's listed as a game time decision, dealing with a knee issue. But the more I looked into this, they're actually talking about shutting him down for an extended period of time. So if that's in the works, I don't think he plays tonight against Chicago. I could be wrong, and we'll have to sweat it out a little bit more if Embiid for some reason is like totally okay, even though they're talking about him missing more than just tonight. But overall, these matchups against Chicago, we try to target them because they're not great on defense, but they do put up a lot of points. So it turns out to be great for fantasy. So let's start by looking at this over under. Where are we at here? Here we go. 232 over under, which really isn't even that high for Chicago, but in general, 232, you're absolutely happy with an over under that high. Philly favored by 5, playing in Philly. So we can look at the 2024 season. This line. So what is that? Is that showing 19? Oh, it's because it's on his points, rebounds. I took his full PRA. All right. So yeah, the line is bumped up a little bit. He's been a little bit volatile. If you take a look, 38% hit rate on the 2024 season. Let's take Embiid out of the equation. See if that changes a little bit. It bumps up a little bit. 46%. So I know that's still not great, but this matchup is super soft across the board. 29th in points allowed, 29th in rebounds allowed, 29th in assists allowed. He plays the 4 spot. So a little bit different here. 26th in points allowed, 28th in rebounds allowed, 23rd in assists allowed. Sometimes they'll run small ball and he'll pop over to the 5, but he's really, his true position is a power forward, in my opinion. But he is big and athletic enough to play the 5 when they need him to. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. He's only gone up against them once, and that was when I believe Drummond and Embiid were in the game. He didn't have a great outing. Played 29 minutes, 12 rebound chances, 7 potential assists, and did not shoot well from the field, 30%. But I'm kind of banking on him getting more opportunities tonight, and I really love this matchup here against Chicago. Let's see. So yeah, I don't blame you guys if you guys don't want to take this. He hasn't done as well in home games. I'll show you this just to be fully transparent. He's failed to exceed 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 4 out of his last 5 games at home. So hasn't played as well at home, but they're not accounting for whether or not someone like Embiid is in or out of the equation. So he's averaging 18.6. We're actually not getting this at 22.5. We're getting this at 21.5, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so we're getting a full point discount there because I think maybe a decent amount of people were taking the under, so the market makers moved it down. So I'm going to be taking advantage of that and going like literally like last time they matched up, one more bucket would have cashed that 21.5 for us. But the matchup is absolutely there for him. So I like to see him get back in rhythm and start playing like he went on a stretch here where he was just killing it. And I'd love to see him get back into that place there. So let's take a look at daily grind real quick. I'm guessing they would like this with that point discount. Yeah, they like it as the best play for him. They have it at 51.99% odds to hit the over, minus 128, and a bunch of platforms are starting to move this to 21, and they're all heavily juiced to the over. So go with your gut. They also like his points, rebounds to go over, and that's about it. There's not a whole lot that they're liking for him, and there's not probably a whole lot of options available. They like his blocks and steals under. Yeah, they've got that at a 51.08% odds to hit the under, minus 126. But I do, again, this is like the board's still developing because I was kind of surprised at how difficult it was to find plays that we really feel confident in. But I do like Guerschon just about any time Embiid is out. So go with your gut. You don't have to take all the plays that I'm getting into, but I'm going to be taking the over here with Guerschon in this soft matchup. All right, so Nurkic. So this is on his blocks and steals. So yeah, the reason I want that full fantasy score, I mean, as of late, if we look at some of his other stats, like 4 straight games with at least 8 rebounds, and he's been doing this without like a whole lot of minutes. Like I was really high on him when he was playing with the Suns, and it just didn't work out. But it just seemed like more of like an internal issue with him and with Bud, and like it was just kind of like the writing was on the wall, which is unfortunate because when he's bought in, he's an absolute monster. This is someone who can go for 30 rebounds in a game. He did that just like a year or two ago. And he's kind of getting back in rhythm here. So 4 straight games with at least 8 rebounds, averaging 17 minutes. So very physical, taking advantage with his time, and his assists have been popping off too. We've been cashing these. And yeah, 3 straight games with at least 5 assists, all in 17 minutes. The scoring is kind of hit or miss. I think this is kind of a tough matchup here for him to do much scoring, but his last 5 games, he's gotten at least 8 points in 4 of those games. And then, you know, Portland playing against his old team, they're a tough matchup, but he always plays a little bit better when he's playing against his old team. Excuse me. He had 11 points in that game. But the main thing that I'm wanting to take here, if I can't take the rebounds and assists by themselves, like if you guys get this video later and they have that available, if we see like 10.5 rebounds and assists, or like 3.5, you know, assists alone, I would absolutely love either of those plays. But in the meantime, I'm happy to take the fantasy score for this defensive upside. Why are they not? Okay, here we go. So if we look at his blocks and steals over the last 5 games, very capable on defense. 5 straight games with at least 2 in that category. You know, 1 block, 1 steal. This game against LA, 2 blocks and a steal. So I say it every video, but if you're unfamiliar with fantasy score, every block and every steal is worth 3 points a pop. So that stacks up pretty quick for us. And then turnovers are -1. You don't have to really get too freaked out though. If there's like 3, if someone's getting like 3 turnovers, 4 turnovers, but they're putting out, you know, like these kind of numbers on defense, you're still getting a net positive. So he hasn't gone more than 2 turnovers in a game in his last 5 games. So if you consider that, even if you take off 2 points off of this, so this is still a net 4 points on any of these games that he got 2, and then in this game it'd be what, 9 points -2, so still net 7 points to the fantasy score. So that's what I look for. So 2, 3 turnovers, yeah, if they're not doing anything defensively, why would you take it anyways? But in this case, I like him to be able to get this done. If we look at his outings. So last time he played Sacramento, this was with the Suns, but last time he played them, he had 3 steals. He has a history of, he's never played them and not had at least 1 block or steal. And then if we look at this, let's go to the fantasy score. Yeah, it looks great. So 5 out of 6 games, he's cleared this fantasy score against Sacramento. This is with different teams, but he's been great lately. So yeah, averaging about 17 minutes and getting 25 or more fantasy score in 4 straight games. And then over here against Charlotte, he could have got that done too. Let's see what the difference was. So yeah, he hadn't been shooting much. So if you look at these games against Orlando and LA, he had 5 attempts, made 3 buckets, and then 0 of 3, and he still cleared these fantasy scores. So once again, if I can't get the assists alone or the rebounds and assists together, I don't hate the rebounds alone at 8, but I'd prefer the 7.5, and it's already bumped up to 8. So I think there's just a higher chance of a push there. So just give me the fantasy score. Let me have that defense attached there. Let's take a look here at Nurkic. Well, they like his blocks over, which is good for our fantasy score. They like a lot of his overs. They like his points over. They like his PRA over. They like his points assists over. I thought, these 2 I was looking at. The points assists does look solid, but I'm just a little nervous about his scoring output. I think that this would be mostly assists. Like, he's capable of getting 5 or 6 assists in this game. Then you'd only need like 3 buckets from him to cash this points assists if you prefer that. They also like his points rebounds over. They're not showing his fantasy score. But yeah, they like the PRA over, they like the blocks over, so you can kind of do the math. They like his defensive upside and they like his full PRA. So give me that fantasy score. That's what I'm going to be taking. If you guys want to check out this app Outlier, it is awesome. It'll definitely help you cash more often, really give you an opportunity to have an informed decision before you take a play. I don't think I went over this, so let's talk about the matchup for Nurkic real quick. But this is the kind of stuff that Outlier just really provides, that lets you know really what you're getting into before you take a play. 24th in points allowed, 12th in rebounds allowed, 22nd in assists allowed. If we bump over to the center position, a little bit tougher than the other categories. It's 15th in points allowed to centers, but 25th in rebounds allowed, 26th in assists allowed. So he should be able to get really active here with rebounds and assisting the ball. And man, I would love to see him bump up into that 20-minute range tonight. Let's see, did he do that recently? No, they're still keeping him around that 17-minute mark, but I mean, he's still producing. So I think that even if he plays 17 minutes, he has a good chance to get this done in this soft matchup for rebounding and assisting the ball, and has a good history with the defense. But so yeah, I definitely love this play. But if you guys want to check out this app Outlier, sign up through the link below. You don't need to put a code in, just sign up, and they're going to give you a week to try this before you make a commitment. And I promise you'll love it. But make sure you spend a little bit of time learning how to use it, because there's a little bit of a learning curve. It's not difficult. You just have to click around and learn what these different sliders and these different settings are doing, and it'll really help you capitalize. And I promise you, it'll help you make better decisions about the plays you're taking. So yeah, that's going to cover it, and I'll pass it over to Jordy.
All right. Yeah. So to get into mine here, I've got Jamal Murray for over his 5.5 assists. I really like this line. He's gone over it 60% of the season, 30 out of 50 games. He's hit it in both head-to-heads though. He's gone for 8 and then 7 against Indiana. It's going to be a fast-paced matchup. Surprisingly, Denver can keep up with high-paced teams. They're really good at adjusting, and this year they're 6th in pace compared to, let's see what their offensive pace is. So the Pacers are 7th. So they're actually outpacing the Pacers this year, which is pretty impressive. Jokic is a heck of a player. I mean, this whole team is really clicking. Westbrook and all these different guys who are contributing now, they just look even better as a team, I think. So Jamal Murray, obviously, still a huge part of that, getting 36 to 40 minutes a game, and he's averaging 9.6 potential assists per game this year. So as long as he's hitting his average here, I mean, he's averaging, he's averaging 6.6 assists per game right now. So we just need him to hit 6. So as long as he hits his average, we're good to go. And he does better than his average every time he plays against the Pacers. So I think it looks pretty good. Over his last 20 games, he's hit this 10 times. He's gone for 5, quite a bit here. But, look at how many potential assists he's averaging in this game where he's not hitting this. So it's just his team not knocking down the shots. But against the softer defense, 14th overall to assists allowed, to point guards, 25th. So a lot of soft matchups on the other side of the ball for Indiana. So I feel like he can get this done. This is a minus 135 to go over. 53.65% chance to hit the over on this one. Some people have this up at a minus 138. So feeling really good about Jamal in this matchup. I think it's going to be a fun game. Let's just take a look at the over under really quick. Let's see here. Go to the over under. It's a 245 over under with a 5-point favorite to the Nuggets. So nice high scoring game here. Should be fun. So taking Jamal Murray over. And then my next one is Mike Conley's assist over 4.5. This has some EV plus value behind it as well, but he's gone over this for 5 out of 5 of his last games and 9 out of 10 of his last games. So he's really been killing the assists lately. He gets about 25 to 30 minutes a game. He's older, so they don't really leave him out there for too long, but he definitely gets his minutes. He's very, very productive with his minutes. He's a veteran at this point. He's been playing the game for a long time. But yeah, he's really good. And in this matchup, he's gone for 8 assists. He's gone for 4 assists 3 straight times, and then he went for 5 in that last matchup, which was last night. It was a really fun game. OKC beat him 130 to 123. It was a really fun game. Now they're going to OKC for the rematch. Should be a fun matchup, but he played 31 minutes in that game and went for 5 assists. But he had, they're not showing us a potential assist in that game. But yeah, I mean, he played a pretty big amount of minutes, and he got it done for us. He hasn't hit this a whole lot over the season, 47% on the season, but he's really been just killing it lately. So, we like to look at trends when it comes to prop picks, and I do like the value behind this because I think he can get this done. 26 minutes against Sacramento, he went for 9. 26 minutes against Chicago, he went for 9. Obviously, those aren't the best defenses. Against Dallas, he went for 8. So it just depends, but he went for, in 22 minutes, he went for 5 assists against Denver. So he can get this done really quick. So I just really like the value behind this tonight. And it's a minus 124 for the over, and it's a 51.35% chance to hit that over. So if we take a look at this game's over under, we got a 229 over under with OKC favored by 12. It's crazy how good they are, and we have a chance to get Cooper Flag. Me and Russo were just talking about that, and it's just crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun game, and I look forward to watching all these tonight. There's actually a lot of good games on tonight, so the board is really bad right now, but it should fill out later. So definitely join the Discord because we'll be putting more in there later as well. I'm sure Russo will make a video, and I'm gonna try to get around to making one also. But yeah, that is going to cover it all for me. If you guys want to check out Daily Grind, go to dgfantasy.com, use code BACKDOOR over at dgfantasy.com, and you're going to get a 25% discount on your first purchase. And you can lock that in for as long as you want. You see how we use it in the video. We use it every single video. We use the optimizer, which is my favorite tool that they have. As you see, I have Jamal Murray typed in here. I can take Jamal Murray away. It's going to show me all the top plays on the board for today. But go check it out for yourself. So that's going to cover it all for me.
All right. Well, if you guys want to come join our Discord, you can take advantage of that parlay play promo. We have a killer community, really good people in here, and we all work together. It's always starting early in the morning. Everyone's just, getting in their research and sharing with the community whenever a play looks good. And we break down plays together in the chat. So yeah, you can join via that parlay play promo, and you'll get your month for free. Or if you want to just jump right in, you can go through Patreon and you sign up there. Go into the settings on Patreon once you're signed up, and then there's a connected apps option in the menu bar. You can log into your Discord straight from there, and you'll be all good to go. If you want to follow us on our socials, it's just at BackdoorFS on X, TikTok, and Instagram. And don't forget to come subscribe to our solo channels at JRussoBDFS and at Jordy BDFS. We'll be putting out more content in addition to what we do here, but we appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, drop us a comment, and have fun with this 8-game slate. We'll catch you in the next one.
Good luck, guys.